Well, I don't think the question would be right because I don't think personally that people have to opt for engineering. You can take up anything as long as it fits your narrative, it fits your goals and dreams. But there are certain people who can't afford that luxury, like, parents are super strict and they want you to go into it. You don't have an option. But to those people, I would say that's not the end of the world. It's okay. I mean, if you don't think you can, convince your parents to put you somewhere else, then I think you should just do what they're asking you to do, but at the same time, pursue what you want to pursue as well. Because, at the end of the day, you're going to have to work, you're going to have to make money. And people who do engineering don't necessarily work with engineering till the end. So, like, don't lose hope just because, you're made to study engineering to those people. But to the rest of you, I would definitely say, there's so much more. There's so many other streams that you can go into, not just engineering and medicine. So just pick, and it's okay to make mistakes. That I would say. It's okay if you choose something and you end up not liking it. It's perfectly fine. You can't make your life decisions and stick with it all the time. But get out of it when you can, while you can, at the earliest. I would say, yeah. So there's a lot of pressures that they get from around them, peer pressure and familial pressure. And then I think at around 20, 22, you have your own economy around you where you have your own expenses and you have to take care of that. So at some point, students are like, and the worst thing that I would say is colleges end up demotivating you a lot. Whether intentionally or not, I like to say a small story. So I'm usually not very keen on submitting assignments and stuff because I'll be like, what, I'll take care of it in the exam or whatever. So there was this one subject that I really, really liked, the subject I liked, and I took all the effort to to type the assignment and submit it. And in the end, my professor was like, what, the font is wrong. Take it back and take another printout and give it to me. I was like, what? I just lost all of my interest in that subject because of that one thing that happened. So that usually happens a lot at least in my life. So whenever I have a lot of interest and I do something with a lot of josh, and then they, shoot it down with something super silly and discredit my work, yeah, that's very disappointing. And I think that's one of the reasons why students give up very quickly. Okay, that's a lot of sections to that question. Okay, being a law student. So the thing is, I think I considered myself a law student for the first year or something. After that, I was like, okay, you know what? I don't know if I can do it. So I'm just going to keep doing it for as long as I can. I got into racing. Okay, so I'll give you a short backstory of how I got into riding bikes. So my parents are super strict. They didn't let me ride motorcycles or cars, drive cars till I turned 18. So, but once I turned 18, my dad just came up to me and he was like, you know what, you have to learn how to ride a bike also, because if something happens and you have no other vehicle at home, you might have to take the bike. So learn how to do it. So I learned scooter, bike and car at the same time within like a couple of weeks after I turned 18. And I fell in love with, anybody who rides bikes kind of falls in love with bikes. You can't even deny it. Like, people who ride bikes know that they love bikes. So I eventually fell in love with my bike. And so I didn't have a bike back then. So I used to ride my dad's super weird Victor. And then I had a bunch of neighbors who I used to play cricket with when I was younger. So they had like R15 and sportier kind. I think RX100 or something, 2 strokes and stuff. So they taught me how to ride on the roads. And okay, so in case the people who are watching this don't know, people here ride super rash, like the local boys, in case you've seen. Yeah, my friends were those kinds. So they taught me super rash riding. Like, I used to like take gaps and then with the shoulder movements and stuff. It was embarrassing. It's still embarrassing. I hate that I have to talk about it. But yeah, I eventually learned that. But then at the same time, I was working for Red Bull. So I was a Red Bull girl. So I used to carry backpacks and go talk to people, give them cans and stuff. So I eventually ended up at the track where I actually ended up because of somebody from VIT Chennai who raced cars. So his name's Venkat Teja, and he was really good, and he used to ride Volkswagen Cup and stuff. So he took me to the track and introduced me to a bunch of people, and then I eventually got regular to the track because of Red Bull and stuff. And then eventually I was like, my friends pulled me up and they said, don't ride like that on the roads, try the track, why not? So I came and told my parents, you know what, I'm going to try racing. And my parents, they weren't entirely negative, I would say. They were a little negative. They said, they didn't say, you're a girl, you can't ride. No, they never said that. But they said, you're too old to start racing now. People outside India start at 3. What is wrong with you? You're 19 now. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to go anyway. So I had to save up some money from Red Bull and then go for the academy. I went to a Honda academy, and then, I mean, anybody, any person, whomsoever it is, if they go to the track and go for a couple of laps, it's a different kind of a release, I would say, yeah. So it makes you lose, all kind of fears, because my second lap I crashed, and then I was perfectly fine, like not a single scratch or whatever. So I kept going and pushing, and there's no speed bumps, there's no cows running in the middle, it's super peaceful. You can just completely lose yourself, and it's amazing. So I would say anybody going to an academy will definitely fall in love with the track. So it wasn't particularly difficult for me to, get into racing per se. Yeah. I would definitely go back in time and start racing when I was younger, man. Definitely, that's one huge regret that I have. So, those older people in your family who question you when you go to functions and like, what are you doing with your life? I do that to kids now. I'm like, what are you doing with your life? Please start racing. And their parents chase me away. But yeah, that's pretty much my life right now. I tried getting my younger sister into it, but then she's too scared. She was. I mean, my parents are super strict and they didn't let her ride at all. So I took her straight to the track and I was like, ride this motorcycle with gears. So that was a little difficult. I put her on the spot. But yeah, that's one thing I would definitely change is go back in time, start at 3 or 2 years old. And then I'd probably be, giving an interview to ESPN right now. Because of MotoGP being cancelled, because I would potentially have been the world champion. I'm kidding. But, I mean, things would have completely been different if I had started super early. Yeah. Usually, with my experience at that point, so when I gave that interview, my experience was much less than what it is now, right? So from what I had experienced back then, so I was talking about racing on the roads. So I used to race on the roads before I got to the track, which is very bad. Please don't do it. But yeah, whenever I pulled up at a signal, guys used to, I think guys have a lot of ego when it comes to female riders. I mean, let's be real. Not all guys, of course, but there's quite a few. And they'll usually come and swerve the bike ahead of me and they'll be like, you know what, come, let's race. Let's see if you're actually capable and stuff. And I used to bite into it and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do it. And then I'll pull up and then, yeah. So that's what I was referring to at that point. But then now I'm a more evolved, much better person. Now I don't do that anymore. I take the car on the roads or the scooter to be on the safer side. And I mean, why should anybody have more fun than the other? I mean, everybody should have like a lot of fun. So yeah, I would say that. There's only one competition in India, but there are different classes to it. Actually, there's 2 competitions, my bad. So this one is the MRF, FMSCI, INMRC National Championship. That's the actual name. So it's so many abbreviations. But yeah, so I started off with Honda because I learned from Honda. So my first bike was a CBR 150, that, a race bike. It wasn't my bike; they gave it to me. So there's this one category called one make motorcycle races, where all the bikes are of the same make. Like, the manufacturer gives you the bike, you just have to pay for the bike. I paid some 2,500 or something, and that's it. So you can crash the bike, you can total it, they're not going to charge you anything. So I was like, that sounds like a great deal. That's the worst trade deal ever, the Trump meme. Yeah, it was like that. Yeah. So my first race I crashed because I did not know anything. I went to this academy in 2016. December 10th was the date. And then this race was on Jan something, and I had zero practice. I had zero knowledge. I just had like theoretical knowledge. Oh, so this is the braking marker, this is this thing, this is that thing. And, everything was on my mind, but I've never really applied it. So yeah, I crashed in the second lap. And, the thing is, back then, we didn't have live relay or anything. So people would wait in the home straight. Okay, so my friends said, they were waiting in the home straight, waiting for me to come. And I just didn't end up coming in. So yeah, that was my first race experience. But that was so much fun because that was I think that's the most I've tried to win, because I didn't know anything. It's an irony. When you know too much, you don't know what to apply. But when you know nothing, you try everything to, get there, right? So that's what I did, but that was so foolish. So I low-sided because I didn't know when you're leaning, if you give full throttle and you go to this rev limiter, the bike will wash out from underneath you. I did not know that. My main aim was to, chase the person in front of me. So yeah, I crashed on my first race. Okay, so this question I've spoken about. This thing I've spoken about a lot, especially to VIT. Like, I think I came last year and spoke about this. Yeah, I don't think any racer would quit racing. I mean, I don't know, Dhoni quit cricket because he, hurt his leg? No, he wouldn't. Of course, he's going to come back. So why should we be any different? In fact, it's more required of us because, I've given up my legs for this. I might not as well, quit right now, because that would seem like a bad idea, because I've invested so much time and effort and energy into it. And honestly, I came back because people usually, so of course there's sexism everywhere. There's, people like to push people down when they're already down. So regardless of gender, that too. So I think when I broke my legs, people started saying, she's not going to come back. This is what girls do. They'll have one scratch in their hand and that's the end of it. They're not going to come back. She's probably going to get married in a week or something. And then, yeah, that's it. And I got so irritated by that. And the best motivating factor for me to come back was, so I broke both my legs, right? So I was completely a vegetable for like a month. And I was in a bed when all of my relatives would come home, take turns, and be like, you know what? You shouldn't have gotten into it. Get married. Okay, this is something that I heard like on a regular, daily basis. So this is what motivated me to come back, because I couldn't even get up and walk away from there and be like, you know what, I'm not going to listen to you. I had to sit through all of that nonsense. So now I'm so glad I got back, because I don't know, I would totally have regretted it if I hadn't gotten back. And also I'd already paid for my tickets to Aragon, so I wasn't going to, back out of that. Yeah. I want to say one thing though. When I went to Aragon and there was this rider briefing and I was talking to other riders, there was this one man who came to me and he was like, you know what, you look too young. How are you? How old are you? I said, I'm 21. He was like, oh, that's old. And I said, okay, cool. So when did you start racing? And he was like, I quit racing when I was 12 because it got too competitive. And I was like, I started racing at 19. How am I going to race with this man who has so much potential and, experience and stuff? So yeah, that's one of the reasons I started, going to the track more after my injury. And I go, okay, if I'm going to go to Aragon again, I need to be better than this for sure. A style of my racing, I'm not too aggressive. That needs to be fixed. But so first I'll start with the track. So I usually come to the track and talk to everybody. I'm not there's a lot of racers who keep to themselves, who be very calm and collected before the race, and you know what, no, I'm not going to interact with anybody, I'm just going to focus and stuff. I've never been able to do that. I should probably do that, but I kind of know like a lot of people around, so there'll be somebody or the other coming and talking to me, hi, and I'll be talking to them, and that's usually the case. And one weird thing that I do, I don't know if people are gonna laugh at this, but okay. So usually when we're on the grid and lights, the red lights are there and they're gonna go out, everybody will be nervous, right? I mean, would you not be nervous? And you know what I end up doing always? I yawn. I end up yawning. Yeah, I feel so sleepy because I think it's the adrenaline working inside me the opposite way for some reason. I'll end up yawning and I'll feel sleepy, and I'll be like, should I just go to the pit? But then once I start, hearing everybody rev and get ready for the start, I'm like, shit, no, we have to race. Like, we're here. What is it? But yeah, that's one thing that I do that I'm sure not a lot of other people do. I would definitely be happy if somebody who wants to get into motorcycle racing and doesn't know can kind of refer to this and start somewhere. I'll be happy for sure.